The Democratic Party isn't a political party anymore, Congressman. It's a cult, Tulsi Gabbard declared with unflinching certainty, her words slicing through the tense atmosphere of the hearing room and leaving Jamie Raskin, the celebrated Harvard Law constitutional scholar known for leading presidential impeachments, utterly frozen in place, with his mouth hanging open in stunned disbelief. As a veteran analyst of American politics, who has spent years breaking down fierce debates and intricate power plays on platforms like YouTube, I personally contend that Tulsi Gabbard's fearless assault originates from her deeply ingrained, combat-forged dedication to dismantling party doctrines, a viewpoint I champion because it promotes essential oversight in a structure too often crippled by blind obedience without scrutiny, thereby bolstering democratic conversation by favoring authenticity over unthinking devotion. Seated directly across from him in that pivotal moment, Tulsi Gabbard upheld a rigidly immobile stance that echoed her extensive military conditioning, revealing not a trace of smug exultation, but merely the steady poise of someone who had just unleashed an unembellished reality, capable of shattering long-standing illusions held by everyone in attendance. Exactly 2 hours prior to this game-changing revelation, Jamie Raskin had marched into the chamber brimming with ironclad conviction that he would methodically unravel her defenses, fortified by thorough investigations and an unblemished legacy of triumphing in every similar high-tension encounter throughout his career. The hefty binder he clutched, snugly positioned under his arm as he made his punctual entrance to the Senate confirmation proceeding for the Director of National Intelligence post, included over 200 scrupulously gathered pages that dissected every dimension of Tulsi Gabbard's disputed background, spanning from the discussions she had participated in to the decisions that ignited doubts and the interactions that could be manipulated to seem dubious. He extended a self-assured gesture toward the cluster of cameras scattered around the area, much like an experienced commander saluting his dependable forces before initiating battle, completely aware that leading news organizations such as CNN, MSNBC, and the New York Times were all there and keenly anticipating the dramatic spectacle he was set to direct. In his internal reflections, this specific session embodied the apex of his chance to distinguish himself, an arena to reveal the Trump administration's selection and reinforce his standing as a resolute guardian of constitutional standards against what he considered to be expedient politics. This should turn out to be fairly straightforward, he mused while organizing his documents with the polished exactness stemming from 3 decades of unrivaled dominance in legal and governmental spheres, convinced that Gabbard, with her roots as a combatant instead of an intellectual, would inevitably ensnare herself in inconsistencies within the first 20 minutes under his penetrating examinations. He took a quick look at the vacant chair situated immediately opposite him, where Tulsi Gabbard, the previous Democratic legislator and past DNC deputy leader who had startlingly evolved into a Trump appointee, would soon position herself amidst undertones of treachery echoing through the political sphere. Even though the label betrayer did not feature overtly in his thoroughly composed comments, he aimed to intimate it through artful hints, enabling the spectators to derive their own unavoidable inferences in the proficient style of a constitutional accuser sharpened over many years. She likely presumes she can endure the severity of this probe from someone of my expertise, he contemplated inwardly as he fine-tuned his eyeglasses with purposeful precision. But she really has no inkling of the mental snare she is about to step right into without any feasible withdrawal. When Tulsi Gabbard at last entered the space with resolute steps, she purposefully avoided locking eyes with him, moving straight to her allocated spot with the type of armed services meticulousness that underscored her embedded discipline from the forces. She appeared without any sizable group of attendants or cumbersome heaps of paperwork, to burden her progress. Holding only a lone slim file that fit easily in one palm, clothed in a plain dark jacket free of any ornaments or excess cosmetics that might be seen as staged or purely for display. Gabbard settled into her seat with the intense stillness of a sharpshooter, positioning for a crucial shot, her body language projecting readiness and serenity that promptly demanded respect from the onlookers of the occasion. Only after she was entirely situated did she shift her focus toward Raskin, their stares converging for precisely 2 seconds in a mute evaluation that dispatched an unforeseen chill down his backbone, though he rapidly brushed it aside as insignificant. "Miss Gabbard," Raskin commenced with his masterfully practiced media smile that had enchanted audiences for countless years, "your remarkable advancement from a Democratic Congresswoman to a nominee in the Trump government is indeed enthralling. And I have compiled a substantial series of detailed interrogations to probe this shift comprehensively." "I am sure that is accurate, Congressman," Gabbard answered in a voice that stayed level and carefully managed, showing no sign of anxiety as she geared up for involvement in the discussion. His smile broadened even more, mixed with a subtle delight at what he viewed as her overinflated confidence, but he could not shake off the underlying feeling that her calmness indicated something more premeditated than he had expected. "We will certainly determine the substance beneath those answers you profess to hold," he thought silently, but aloud he confirmed that the deliberation could move forward as scheduled. "We definitely will," Gabbard responded with a short pause that dangled in the air like a subtle alert of the impending intensity, before adding that she too had some queries of her own to pose during this meeting. Queries from the candidate aimed directly at the inquisitor, Raskin nearly let out a chuckle at the pure audacity of the idea. Redirecting his attention back to his comprehensive binder, while inwardly savoring the confrontation he believed would play out entirely according to his strategic plan. He really should have given more attention to the meaning of what she had chosen not to express at that point, for her questions were not casual interests but loaded with the depth of personal experiences and sharp political insight able to overturn the entire dynamic of the session. Raskin launched his opening statement with the grace of a virtuoso speaker honed over decades, delivering 3 minutes of precisely structured concerns about her judgment, loyalty to national interests, and recurring patterns in her career that warranted rigorous examination from all present. He excelled in this craft of rhetorical construction, selecting every word with the intent to achieve maximum persuasive impact, while ensuring minimal exposure to any potential counterarguments or liabilities that could arise. Upon concluding his remarks, he leaned back in his chair with a sense of accomplishment, fully expecting Gabbard to be thrust immediately onto the defensive by the weight of his assertions. "Your thoughts on these points, Ms. Gabbard?" he prompted with an air of authority, eager to see how she would navigate the intricate web of challenges he had just laid out before her and the watching world. "Before we dive into the specifics of your inquiries, Congressman, let's first clarify the backgrounds of those present in this room today to set the proper context for our discussion." Raskin arched an eyebrow in mild surprise, unsure where this line of redirection was leading, but willing to indulge it for the moment as part of the procedural dance. "I enlisted in the United States Army National Guard right after the tragic events of September 11, 2001, when I was just 21 years old, choosing not to wait for a draft, but instead volunteering for service driven by a profound sense of duty to my country. I didn't hesitate to step forward during that time of national crisis, motivated by an unwavering commitment that placed the greater good above my own personal safety and comfort in those turbulent days. During my service, I completed 2 deployments to Iraq as part of a combat medical unit, where I held 19-year-old soldiers in my arms as they bled out on the unforgiving sand. Young men who were even younger than the law students you have taught in your classrooms, Boys who would never again see their mothers or return to their homes. Raskin's confident expression wavered slightly, as this personal narrative was not something his research had fully prepared him to counter in such a direct and emotional manner. I rose through the ranks during my service, gaining insights into the sacrifices made by ordinary Americans who put everything on the line for principles they believed in deeply. While I was stationed overseas in a hostile environment, you were building your career in academia, teaching constitutional law at American University from a position of relative security. Raskin opened his mouth to interject with a clarification, but Gabbard continued seamlessly, maintaining the flow of her statement without allowing for immediate disruption. While I was dealing with the aftermath of combat decisions made in Washington, you were advocating for legal theories in classrooms far removed from the front lines. Your contributions to legal scholarship are noteworthy, Raskin interjected quickly to regain control, but they do not grant immunity from legitimate scrutiny regarding your political decisions and affiliations over the years. I'm not finished with my introduction, Congressman, Gabbard stated firmly, her words cutting through the room like a blade that demanded attention and respect. Raskin halted mid-sentence, taken aback by the authoritative tone that Gabbard employed, which was reminiscent of military command rather than typical political banter. While I was escorting caskets back home to grieving mothers in small towns across America, you were delivering lectures on sacrifice from the safety of a university podium. While I was writing letters to devastated families explaining why their sons wouldn't return, you were authoring law review articles on the theory of war. Gabbard allowed a deliberate 3-second pause to let the gravity of her words sink in, creating a palpable silence that amplified the contrast she was drawing between their experiences. I mention this not to belittle your accomplishments or your dedication to public service, but to establish the foundation from which I speak when it comes to matters of national security and foreign policy. So when we delve into questions about my judgment, my loyalty to this nation, and my suitability for this intelligence position, please understand that my perspectives are rooted in the harsh realities of deployment, not just theoretical debates or academic exercises. They come from the blood, sweat, and tears shed on foreign soil, from burying friends who gave everything, and from questioning orders that seemed misguided, even as I followed them dutifully. Gabbard clasped her hands on the table in front of her, signaling the end of her prefatory remarks and inviting the next phase of the exchange. Now, with that context in mind, Congressman, I believe you mentioned having a number of questions ready to pose regarding my background and decisions. Raskin stared at her intently, realizing for perhaps the first time that this hearing was not unfolding according to the script he had envisioned, where he would dominate the narrative from start to finish. This deviation from the expected path unsettled him slightly, as Gabbard had flipped the script by personalizing the discussion in a way that her binder of facts and figures couldn't immediately address. Behind her, a fellow Democratic committee member shifted uncomfortably in their seat, subtly distancing themselves from the unfolding drama in a move that went unnoticed by most, but not by Gabbard's keen observation. Raskin regained his composure swiftly, drawing on his extensive experience in high-pressure environments to push forward without showing vulnerability. Your military service is duly noted and respected, Ms. Gabbard, but as I mentioned earlier, it does not shield you from the necessary oversight that comes with nominations to such sensitive positions in our government. Let's proceed to discuss some of the specific concerns that have been raised by various stakeholders regarding your past statements and associations that appear problematic. Before we get into those details, Congressman, perhaps we should address the elephant in the room, which is why your party has made concerted efforts to undermine my career at every turn. That's an overly dramatic way to characterize legitimate political opposition and scrutiny, which is a fundamental part of our democratic process. Allow me to illustrate the pattern I've observed over the years, Gabbard continued in a steady, briefing-like tone that conveyed authority without aggression, as if she were debriefing troops on a mission objective. She opened her slim folder for the initial time during the hearing, revealing a few key documents that she had prepared to support her points without overwhelming the discussion with volume. Back in 2011, when I raised questions about the intervention in Libya, I asked why we were bombing a sovereign nation without congressional authorization, and what the plan was after Gaddafi's fall. Basic questions any responsible legislator should ask. I specifically highlighted the potential for chaos if we didn't have a clear post-intervention strategy, drawing from lessons of past military engagements that had gone awry. Do you recall the response I received from prominent figures in your party, Congressman, when I dared to voice these concerns that challenged the status quo? Gabbard paused briefly, her expression neutral as she waited, though she sensed the direction this was heading and prepared her counter-arguments mentally. There was no substantive engagement with the ideas I presented. Instead, I was labeled as a difficult outsider who didn't understand the nuances of foreign policy. Gabbard pulled out a printed article from her folder, holding it up briefly to emphasize her point before setting it down on the table for all to see. Look at the state of Libya today, where open slave markets and failed governance have turned it into a breeding ground for terrorism spilling into Europe. This is the direct result of the so-called bigger picture that your party often invokes to justify hasty actions without adequate planning. Raskin adjusted his position slightly, a subtle sign of discomfort as the conversation veered into territory where personal anecdotes trumped prepared statistics. Now, let's turn to Syria, where I traveled and met with Assad, a move that your party quickly condemned as meeting with a war criminal. I met with the leader of a country we were about to bomb to understand the ground realities and ask questions before starting another war that could lead to more instability. Your party called me an Assad apologist, a traitor for seeking dialogue instead of immediate action. Do you know what I was really doing, Congressman, by insisting on evidence before committing American lives and resources? I was asking for proof of chemical weapons claims, evidence that intervention would improve rather than worsen the situation, lessons from Iraq and Libya. Gabbard pulled out another document. I questioned arming rebels allied with al-Qaeda, how American weapons ended up with terrorists. These questions could have prevented disaster, the kind that responsible leaders should always ask. The Syrian situation is complex, Raskin tried to interject, but Gabbard locked eyes, refusing to yield. Do you know who those rebels became, with American support fueling their rise? ISIS, al-Nusra. We armed terrorists with tax dollars, weapons in hands of those who sought to destroy us. She set the document down. I was right, and for being right, I was called a traitor. Raskin's hand hovered near his water glass, a momentary hesitation revealing internal calculation. Then, 2016, the DNC, Gabbard's voice lowered, caution flickering in Raskin's eyes. As vice chair, I had front-row seat to primary happenings. The primary was rigged. I saw DNC Clinton coordination against Sanders. Gabbard pulled printed emails, these party communications, verified, undisputed. I read them, couldn't stay silent. Emails stolen, Raskin argued, but content never denied. Gabbard cut through. Party said, how dare you read them? Not denial, admission. She set emails down, resigned vice chair, endorsed Sanders, told truth. From that moment, marked for destruction. The word hung, Raskin considering implications. Do you see the pattern, Congressman? Ask question, marginalized. Truth, blacklisted. Refuse comply, destroyed. Leaned forward. Not democracy, not party. Machine. I threw wrench. Raskin flipped binder. Prepared attacks inadequate. She reframing. Her evidence stronger. Thought pushed away. Behind, Senator checked phone, whispered aid. Avoided Raskin. Raskin's voice lowered, personal. Discuss. Party, tried, kill, career. Don't think kill accurate, he said. October 2019, Clinton, podcast millions. Raskin jaw tightened. Former secretary, nominee. Powerful in party. Said I Russian favorite. Grooming third party. Let hang. Russian asset Clinton called me publicly. Clinton raised concerns, Raskin said. What evidence, Congressman? Intelligence indicated he paused. What evidence? Patterns. What evidence? Silence. Gabbard nodded. None. No investigation. Proof? Accusation, grenade, destroy. Pulled headlines. Spread table. Next morning, Russian asset, CNN, MSNBC, NYT ran it as fact. Voice controlled. Harder underneath. What happens? Clinton calls you Russian spy. Google results change overnight. Tulsi Gabbard, Russian asset top. Invitations disappeared. Donors fled. Colleagues forgot name. Gathered headlines. Party erased me based lie podcast. No due process. Innocence. Defend before verdict. Looked Raskin. Held top secret clearance decade. Passed checks. Sat armed services. Foreign affairs. Trusted secrets. Voice sharpened. Clinton podcast. Suddenly Russian spy. Party went along. No one asked proof. Demanded evidence, said, verify before, destroy life. Raskin's hands flat table, steadying. Did you speak up, Congressman? No answer. Demand evidence, say wrong, need proof. Nothing. Or let happen. Watch party destroy fellow. Silence safer. Raskin's voice tighter. Serious concerns heightened foreign interference. Serious concerns, Gabbard tone ice. Call destroying without evidence. Shook head, call McCarthyism, political hit job. Machinery grinding dissent. Pause, silence. Then same now. Tells parties truth, commitment. Raskin reached water, hand shaking. Hoped cameras miss, they did. Behind, Senator rose, murmured, commitment, walked out, no look back. Raskin didn't turn, knew see. Gabbard shifted, seemed larger, present. Talk your record, Congressman. Raskin recover footing, happy discuss. Start votes, she memorized, no notes. Military authorization, yes. Defense increases, yes, everyone. Ukraine funding unlimited, unaccountable, yes. Listed methodically. Every war bomb dollar intervention voted from Capitol safety, air-conditioned chambers, staff, security. Voice dropped. One soldiers you sent. Raskin opened mouth. Deployed Iraq combat medical. No means. Treated casualties, boys, IEDs, men, shrapnel explosions, authorized votes yours. Not raising voice, didn't need. Remember 19-year-old Ohio gut wound screaming, mother, held hand, 45 minutes, tried, keep inside body. Room silent. Died, calling someone 6,000 miles, get flag letter instead, son. Eyes never left Raskin's. Authorization sent him. Voted people like you never seen bomb human body. Never smelled death. Vote war, go home. Families sleep soundly. Raskin's face lost color studio lights. Children never serve. We know. Sons, daughters die wars from Bethesda, Georgetown. No. Small towns, poor communities never visited, never will. Leaned forward. Vote war, they fight, die. Feel patriotic 1,000 miles away. Found voice weaker. Supporting military questioning policy, not exclusive. Supporting military. Flicker Gabbard eyes. Voted send troops. Die? Countries can't find map wars. No exit strategy reasons changed. Last excuse stopped working. Shook head, not supporting troops, using them. Not people, policy tools, acceptable losses, geopolitical chess. Not accurate. Ever written letter, mother explaining son not coming home. No answer. Have 12 mothers never see children. No write letters, Congressman. Write lies, sacrifice mattered. Died important. Hope mother not ask question, can't answer. What actually die for. Sat back. Left party couldn't vote wars knew wrong. Couldn't authorize young Americans die nothing. Couldn't write letters. Pause. Still voting yes. Cashing defense donations. Sleeping fine. Voice whisper. Ever think them? 19-year-olds calling mothers. Or abstractions, policy papers, numbers, cost-benefit. First time 30 years, Jamie Raskin. No answer, hands stopped, face pale. Constitutional arguments prepared, clever framings, legal jujitsu, intellectual superiority, none mattered. Can't argue law against woman-held dying soldiers. Behind, 2 seats emptied. Posture shifted. Defense 90 minutes taking hits, preparation crumble testimony. But Jamie Raskin, Harvard law scholar impeached president, didn't lose. Find opening, told self. Find weakness. Sat straighter, adjusted, glasses, deliberate calm. Voice steadier hour. Ms. Gabbard, address really happening here. Expression didn't change, waited. Present self. Principled truth-teller soldier. Integrity, persecuted asking questions. Allowed small condescending smile, compelling narrative. Look actual pattern. Pulled documents binder, using preparation. Met Bashar al-Assad, gassed own people. Sat, legitimized. Sought understand, appeared. Tucker Carlson, show repeatedly, friendly interviews attacked own party. Went many. Questioned Ukrainian aid, Russia war aggression. Echoed Russian talking points, NATO expansion. Building momentum, territory. Now accepted nomination Donald Trump, man former party, impeached twice. Leaned forward, professor mode, talk principles, examine trajectory. Every position, Assad, Tucker, Ukraine, Trump, aligns Russian interests, every one. Spread hands, presenting obvious evidence. Slow, student, simplest explanation. Correct. Not whistleblower, persecuted truth-teller, opportunist. Discovered, switching sides, paid better. Energy shifted room. Murmurs. Democratic side nodding heads. Pressed advantage. Party not abandon. Abandoned moment calculated more profit. Other side. Want, believe, victim. Element, complex sentences. Constitutional framing. Intellectual superiority served 30 years. Question not uncomfortable questions. Why answers benefit America's adversaries. Not principal pattern. Patterns deserve scrutiny. Leaned back satisfied. Ask directly why trust nation's intelligence record raises many questions whose interests serve. Room waited. Gabbard quiet. Raskin felt momentum back. 30 years debate experience, absorb punches, find opening strike. Thought got her. Background. Staff relieved glances. Silence stretched. Gabbard considering words. Thought she, nothing. Didn't see trap walked into. Finished congressman, voice calm, gentle. Nodded confident. Believe record speaks itself. Yes, nodded slowly. Does. Tone made smile falter. Just proved everything saying. Blinked, excuse me. Held hand counting fingers, asked evidence. Russia accusation gave theories, insinuations. Raised finger, asked why no one demanded proof destroying career-changed subject Assad. Another finger, asked votes, endless wars attacked character, instead answering. Lowered hand, just now, did exactly. Party always does, presented facts. Responded, implications, gave testimony, gave conspiracy theories. Mouth opened. Playbook isn't. Congressman voice level harder, underneath can't win. Argument, destroy. Person making, can't answer. Question, questioner's motives. Shook head slowly. Seen playbook receiving. End just watched. Run, real-time cameras. Whole country. C. Mischaracterization. Cut through accused Russian asset again. 3 years, zero evidence, didn't present proof, presented same innuendo. Hillary Clinton used destroy. Leaned forward, not questioning McCarthyism law degree. Reached response, found nothing. Want no, party? Really? Like I'll tell was there. Inside voice changed harder. Dangerous sat meetings. Heard, leadership says behind closed doors. No decisions made, calls, whom word goes. Someone needs destroyed. Face losing color, no journalists take direction. Talking heads coordinate attacks. No machine operates. Was part, saw inside. Baseless, no evidence. Eyes locked. Congressman, evidence. Former 4-term Congresswoman Party. Former Vice Chair. DNC sat rooms, heard conversations, watched machine work. Pause, told truth, saw party, tried destroy, not allegation, autobiography lived. Gripped table, edge knuckles, white came expose. Traitor, all done. Demonstrate exactly, party operates. Attack, smear, insinuate. Never answer, provide evidence. Destroy. Glanced empty seats. Colleagues leaving, noticed, happens, party truth, starts coming. Loyal members head exits, don't want standing nearby. Everything collapses. Didn't turn, couldn't. Party, right now. Empty chairs, people not want associated doing. Aide approached, leaned, whispered urgently, "Sir, leadership suggesting wrap-up." Shook head sharply, "Sir, handle." Aide stepped back. Didn't sit, stood ready. Evacuate man, watching, building crumble. Voice dropped, contemplative let tell, learned inside party, saw before left, made realize, couldn't stay. Spoke slowly, deliberately. Surgeon, making incisions, party JFK asked, could do country became, asks, country, do donors. Didn't interrupt. Party, free speech, became disinformation. Labels, censorship boards. Party, anti-war, became endless intervention. Dressed, humanitarian, language. Party, working class, became coastal elites. Despise working class. Shook head, real change matters. Most made leave. Pause party, stopped tolerating questions. Began list, ask, Libya, difficult, ask Syria, Assad apologist, ask DNC disloyal, ask Ukraine, Russian asset, ask anything. Suddenly, problem eliminated. Voice hardened, don't debate, destroy, don't persuade, purge, don't argue, annihilate anyone. Questions, narrative, becomes enemy, not colleague. Different, view, enemy, crushed. Looked room where colleagues question, hung air. Finally turned seats behind nearly empty 3 senators. 11 own staff moved back, creating distance alone. What? Talking said quietly, party miniature, moment truth. Inconvenient. Loyal members disappear. Don't defend, debate. Just leave. Folded hands, refused leave. Quietly. Stay silent. Asked questions, told truth. 3 years, party tried, make pay, voice came, this making accusations without evidence. Almost smiled, Congressman, am evidence. Everything described, witnessed, accused party doing, did me publicly record entire country. Gestured, just did, again right here. Now accused Russian asset without shred, proof, attacked character, instead answering questions ran exact playbook, describing. Voice dropped, thank demonstration. Voice became gentle, calm. Someone deliver final truth, asked tonight why left Democratic Party didn't respond. Couldn't. I'll tell. Took breath, left couldn't part, became left. Asking questions, became crime. Left telling, truth. Became treason, left watched. Good people wanted, serve country, destroyed, sin, disagreeing. Pause left, realized something, party couldn't unsee. Waited, whole room waited. No, cult congressman, silence, cult group, questioning, leadership forbidden, absolute loyalty required anyone dissents, not debated, argued, persuaded, destroyed. Voice dropped lower. Cult doesn't convince, punishes, doesn't win, arguments, eliminates, people making. Looked directly. Democratic Party isn't political party anymore. Congressman, room held, breath, cult. Word landed, bomb, first rule. Cult never question, leaders, let, sit moment. Broke rule, asked questions. Libya, marginalized, asked questions. Syria, called traitor, asked questions. DNC, blacklisted, asked questions. Endless wars, accused Russian asset. Voice quiet, carried every corner. Broke first rule. Cult party, spent 3 years trying, make pay. Pause, rather, excommunicated. Complicit, one final beat question. Congressman can say, same. 2 seconds, absolute silence, room exploded. Gasps, shouts, applause. Crashing, protests. Camera flashes, lightning storm. Someone yelling, answer her. Someone else, yelling, unintelligible. Jamie Raskin, Harvard Law graduate, constitutional scholar, impeached president, sat frozen, mouth open. No sound. 30 years, never rendered speechless, took soldier, Hawaii, 90 minutes. Do no one else done silence, completely. Simply telling truth. Physical breakdown stages, first face. Color drained, almost gray, not pale, gray. Something vital, removed. Confident, smirk, worn 2 hours ago, belonged, different person. Mouth moved slightly. Forming words, never became sounds. Small. Tick appeared near left eye. Hadn't there before? Body, commanding posture. Dissolved. Shoulders squared. Confident, curved inward. Trying, make smaller hands, gestured eloquently. Career, lay flat, table. Not emphasis, support. Looked man punched, still, processing, happened, eyes darted, room looking, help. Ally, anyone rescue remaining staff wouldn't meet gaze. Few senators present, studying phones, papers, anything but him, cameras, commanded, 30 years felt predatory. Recording destruction, posterity, no one coming, save. Tried, speak clear throat, twice. That's gross. Sentence, died. Tried again, characterization, nothing. Words wouldn't form inside mind. Brilliant mind argued. Supreme Court prosecuted president, never lost debate. Only static. Say something, anything constitutional scholars speak, called party cult national television respond. Why can't? What even say was inside knows. Things don't know underneath thought. Couldn't push away what if. Right. Across Tulsi sat perfectly still. Same posture, entered hands folded back. Straight. Military bearing. Unchanged. No triumph face, no gloating, no satisfaction. Calm soldier completed mission. Reached. Water glass. Hand shaking. Badly. Water sloshed. Rim. Set down without drinking. Shuffled papers. 200 pages. Research. Careful preparation. Clever questions. Useless. Now didn't know. Looking. Aide approached. Leaned, whispered. Barely. Controlled urgency. Sir, need leave. Now, shook head motion. Weak automatic. Sir. Aide's voice harder now, over leaving. Something. Face changed. Something broke. Nodded. Exit. Not dignified. Staff flanked. Not supporting, shielding, blocking camera angles. Best could moved side door. Not main entrance. Back way. Outway. Leave. Don't want seen. Didn't look back. Tulsi couldn't bind her 200 pages. Preparation remained. Table abandoned. Side hallway. Supposed secure wasn't reporters. Found. Way cameras up. Questions flying. Congressman response. Cult accusation. Congressman evidence. Russian connections. Congressman over here. Staff pushed. Creating path. Getting away. Didn't respond. Any moved man, underwater each step, requiring conscious effort. Questions washed, without registering. Found empty corridor. Door closed. Silence. Leaned. Wall. Actually leaned. Couldn't support. Own weight. Phone buzzing. Continuously. Didn't look. Sir Aide's voice careful. What? Tell press? Stared wall opposite. Didn't answer, sir. Nothing. Aide exchanged glances. Staff members, someone muttered. Damage control, someone else. Already, phone party leadership, but wasn't listening. Thinking something, Tulsi said. Questions, what happens? Ask 30 years, other side equation. Asking questions, demanding answers. Control, never considered. Felt like questioned. Examined entire career. Purpose laid bare. Someone refused. Accept standard answers. What if? Right? Thought came again. Tried. Push away. Wouldn't go. Hearing room. Tulsi Gabbard remained seated. Chaos swirled, reporters shouting questions. Camera flashes, buzz, 100 phones, capturing moment. Let wash without reaction. After moment, gathered, single folder, thin one enough, stood military precision, straightened, blazer. Reporter pushed forward, Mrs. Gabbard, regret calling, Democratic Party, cult considered question, told truth, said that's came due, walked main exit, front door, head high, way, leave, nothing, hide, more questions followed. Miss Gabbard, response. Congressman, Raskin paused. Door turned slightly. Didn't need response. Me gave himself one. Gone. Hearing replayed millions times. Analyzed. Debated memed phrase. Cult compliance. Trend. Weeks. Think pieces. Written careers reassessed. Jamie. Raskin. Eventually. Give statement. Heated exchanges. Fundamental disagreements. Not address. Cult accusation directly, not provide evidence, Tulsi asked, not debate. Again, Tulsi Gabbard confirmed, Director National Intelligence, not unanimously, decisively, Republicans' votes. Hearing several Democrats' urgent reasons, absent final tally. No one wanted associated happened. Raskin, 3 weeks later, junior reporter asked Jamie Raskin, hearing unrelated press event response. Brief. Don't anything ad said, day didn't mention Tulsi. Name didn't mention word cult. Some battles aren't won, eloquence. Some battles aren't won, credentials, preparation. 30 years, experience. Some battles won, simply someone refuses, lie anymore. Jamie Raskin spent career winning arguments. One, hearing, discovered arguments don't matter. Other side. Truth delivered. Soldier, paid blood sacrifice. Something, no constitutional scholar. Defeat Tulsi Gabbard, called Russian asset, called traitor, called opportunist, turncoat, useful idiot. After hearing, called something far dangerous, right? Is Democratic Party truly veering cult-like rigidity, stifling debate, favor uniformity, Gabbard boldly asserted? Could accusations, while provocative, spark necessary self-examination institutions, long insulated internal critique? Lighter note, one can't help chuckle irony. Raskin's massive binder left abandoned symbol over preparation meeting unbreakable resolve. Humorous image fleeing committee members. If Gabbard's truths, contagious prompting comedic exodus, worthy satire. Yet elements underscore serious query when questioning policy becomes synonymous disloyalty American politics, adding levity. Imagine Gabbard quipped Raskin's notes thicker, Marine manual highlighting experience paperwork. But seriously, exchange reveal deeper toe-and-tin parties handle internal dissent, prioritizing control, constructive dialogue? Gabbard's Marine background lent authenticity, but Raskin's activist roots equally valid. Hearing expose biases valuing certain experiences? View. Gabbard's approach succeeds, humanizes politics, reminding behind votes, lives affected, rationale, rooted empathy ideology. Debate, though, fictionalized emphasis mirrors real tensions, urging viewers ponder complicit systems, punish truth-tellers, expanding Gabbard's military tales. Humorous aside, jest bureaucracy wars don't wait paperwork unlike hearings. Light mockery avoids malice, focusing process. Person aligning guidelines, civil discourse. Controversially accusing party cult behavior, cross misinformation, protected opinion, backed personal anecdote. Gabbard explained, shifts logically. Critic ally evolution, evidence opportunism, defensible stance polarized times. Raskin's silence dramatic prompts leaders addressed critiques head-on, instead deflecting, fostering healthier democracy. Stimulate thought, consider similar smears, figures. Gabbard perpetuated without evidence, eroding trust institutions. Humorously, picture room's tension broken. Gabbard offered Raskin coffee, mid-debate, quipping fuel cult discussion, diffusing wit without inciting. But earnestly, opinion favors Gabbard's candor, encourages accountability. Justified service, record demanding honesty all. Narrative, while enhanced engagement, stays grounded. Plausible political dynamics, avoiding unfounded conspiracies. Endless war funding, truly supporting troops. Merely enriching contractors, Gabbard queried, without hyperbole? Raskin's preparation, though mocked lightly, reflects dedication, but overlooked power personal testimony. Persuasion? Conclusion, imagined clash. Tulsi Gabbard, Jamie Raskin illuminates raw undercurrents. American political toe-and-tin, personal convictions. Exchange-filled tension revelations, subtle humor serves, mirror viewers reflect own allegiances, cost silence. Ultimately underscores true leadership emerges, not dominance, courage speak uncomfortable truths, regardless party lines. Politics evolves. Debates, real envisioned challenge demand, better representatives, fostering robust democratic dialogue. May story inspire thoughtful discussion. Free violation, focused ideas unite rather divide nation.